Hey there, property owners and managers. Welcome back to the SANGAU YouTube channel, the place where you get all your essential tips and insights for successful property management. You know that adjusting rent is inevitable. It's key to keeping up with rising costs and market shifts. But how do you increase rent without losing those valuable, reliable tenants? In today's video, we're breaking down exactly how and when to adjust rent, plus sharing effective negotiation strategies to ensure your tenants remain satisfied. By the end of this video, you'll be armed with practical tips for implementing rent adjustments smoothly while maintaining tenant retention. So, grab your notepad and let's dive in. 1. Stay ahead by understanding market trends. Before you even consider adjusting your rent, the first step is understanding how your property compares to the current rental market. A market analysis is essential here. Start by researching similar properties in your area. Think about location, amenities, and the overall state of the rental market. Take Bangalore, for instance. Certain areas are experiencing rental demand spikes due to the expanding IT sector. If your property is located in one of these booming areas, a rent increase may be justifiable. Gathering data on similar properties in your neighborhood will help you make an informed decision and justify the hike to your tenants. 2. Review your operating costs. Next, take a close look at your own expenses. Have maintenance costs gone up? How about property taxes or utility rates? If your operating costs are on the rise, it's perfectly reasonable to adjust the rent accordingly. Let's say the cost of maintaining your property has increased due to higher service fees or rising utility bills. When explaining the rent increase to tenants, be transparent about how these rising costs have impacted your decision. Being upfront about these factors can help tenants view the adjustment as fair and necessary. 3. Timing is everything when to adjust rent. One of the most critical factors when adjusting rent is timing. Poorly timed rent hikes can frustrate tenants and even push them to look elsewhere. Ideally, rent adjustments should occur at natural intervals, such as the end of a lease term or during a scheduled rent review period. Ensure your lease agreements have a clause allowing rent adjustments based on market conditions during renewal periods. It's also essential to give your tenants ample notice before raising the rent. Depending on local laws, a 30 to 60-day notice is typical. However, in competitive markets like Bangalore, providing as much notice as possible is not only courteous but also practical, as it gives tenants time to adjust. 4. Boost property value before raising rent. If you're planning a rent increase, a great way to ease the transition is by offering something of value in return. Enhancing your property, whether through cosmetic upgrades or better amenities, can make the increase feel justified. Think about upgrading appliances, repainting common areas, or even adding new features like security systems or improved landscaping. When tenants see tangible improvements, they are more likely to view the rent adjustment as reasonable and necessary. 5. Communicate clearly and transparently. When it comes to rent adjustments, clear communication is your best friend. If you're increasing rent, make sure you're framing the conversation around market trends and rising operational costs. Be empathetic. Acknowledge that a rent hike can be financially stressful for tenants, but explain why it's essential. Providing written communication outlining the reasons behind the adjustment will keep everything professional and transparent. It also ensures that both parties are on the same page, which reduces confusion and potential disputes. 6. Offer flexible payment options. Let's say your tenants are struggling with the idea of a rent increase. Instead of risking their departure, offer them some flexibility. One option could be to phase the increase over several months. Alternatively, you could lock in the new rate for a longer lease term, assuring them there won't be any additional hikes for the next couple of years. Offering flexible payment options or extended leases with gradual increases can ease the financial pressure on tenants, making them more inclined to stay. This can also help you maintain stable occupancy, which is far better than risking turnover due to a sudden rent jump. 7. Include a rent review clause in your lease. Your lease agreement should always include a rent review clause, particularly for long-term tenants. This allows you to adjust the rent based on predefined conditions, like inflation or market changes. Rent review clauses are commonly found in commercial leases, but can be equally beneficial in residential agreements. In places like Bangalore, where the rental market can fluctuate, having a clear, structured process for reviewing and adjusting rent keeps both landlords and tenants on stable ground. 8. Know your tenant's financial situation. Before implementing any rent adjustment, it's wise to consider the financial situation of your tenants. If you have a tenant with a great payment history, but who may struggle with an increase, consider holding off on the adjustment or proposing a smaller one. Sometimes, retaining a reliable tenant at a slightly lower rent is better than facing a vacancy. On the other hand, if your tenant is in a solid financial position, they may be more accepting of a rent increase, particularly if you can demonstrate rising property costs or improvements. 9. Avoid aggressive rent hikes. One of the quickest ways to lose a tenant is by implementing a steep, aggressive rent increase. While you may need to raise the rent to cover your costs, it's always better to opt for smaller, incremental increases. This approach makes it easier for tenants to adjust their budget and also ensures your property remains competitive in the market. Remember, the key to long-term success in property management is maintaining steady occupancy rates. By keeping rent increases manageable, you not only keep your tenants happy, but also ensure your property continues to generate a stable income. 10. Professional help. Collaborate with a property management service. If the thought of rent reviews and adjustments feels overwhelming, there's no shame in getting help from the experts. A professional property management service, like SANGAU, can take over the heavy lifting for you. Property managers have the expertise to handle everything from rent reviews to tenant negotiations, and they stay updated on local laws to ensure you remain compliant. By partnering with a trusted property management team, you can focus on expanding your property portfolio while they handle the day-to-day tasks, ensuring that your rent adjustments go smoothly and your tenants stay satisfied. Bonus tip: partner with SANGAU for stress-free rent adjustments. We know that managing rent reviews and adjustments can be daunting, but that's exactly where SANGAU comes in. Our experienced property management team specializes in market analysis, tenant relations, and seamless rent adjustments. We ensure your rents reflect market trends without jeopardizing tenant retention. Whether it's negotiating flexible lease terms or providing market-driven rent reviews, SANGAU has you covered. Let us handle the complexities so you can enjoy the benefits of a well-managed property portfolio. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our future property management tips. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.